without bees? Well, everything. Unfortunately, bee populations are declining at an alarming rate. And believe me, this isn't just a bee problem, it's a believe me, we're all in trouble problem. My name is Audrey Kim, and today I'll be sharing how Varroa destructors, one of the deadliest threats to honeybee health, are endangering global food security and public health. I'll also share how my prototypes have the potential to revolutionize how we detect and track the spread of these parasites. Before we begin, I'd like to briefly introduce myself. I'm a boarding student at Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire, but I'm originally from Irvine, California. My passion for the environment began when I wrote a letter to former President Obama, and he wrote back. That moment inspired me to take action. Since then, I've launched several fundraising initiatives, raising over $12,000 and completing more than 1,000 community service hours. I was honored with the President's Environmental Youth Award. I also run an environmental YouTube channel with 162 videos and over 160,000 views. Research is another passion of mine. I'm a national winner and two-time state winner in the National History Day competition, and I've been named a top 300 Thermo Fisher Junior Innovator twice. At Exeter, I'm on the robotics team, varsity soccer team, track and field, and crew. I also play the second trombone in jazz ensemble and am a staff writer for the Exonian. In the future, I hope to pursue a career in environmental science and policy, where I can combine research, communication, and advocacy to help protect our planet and public health. Now, let's get back to the main topic. What are Varroa destructors? To be concise, they are a threat to apiculture worldwide. They're a non-chemical stressor and a common ectoparasite to the honeybee Apis mellifera, also known as the western honeybee. Varroas reproduce in brood cells of beehives, and after they hatch, they feed on the larvae and pupae of bees. Varroa destructor mites cause serious harm to honeybees by attacking the body fat tissue of bees, ultimately weakening their immune systems, reducing body weight, and shortening lifespans. They also create wounds that become entry points for harmful bacteria, fungi, and viruses. If that's not bad enough, there are also vectors for diseases, such as deformed wing virus, strains A and B, which causes shriveled wings and prevents bees from flying, leading to an early death, Israeli acute bee paralysis, virus shorts bees' lifespans and impairs the homing ability of foragers, causing colony-wide decline, parasitic mite syndrome results in syndromes like spotty brood pattern, missing brood, lack of eggs, and a rapid population loss. Without treatment, effective colonies will collapse. This graph shows that regardless of a colony's strength, these pathogens can still severely impact hive health. We have to realize how essential these bees are for global health. Since last spring, an estimated number of around 1.7 million colonies were lost, which is around 60% of bees. And these bees are responsible for pollinating over a third of our produce. Without them, food security will become a bigger problem, since no bees means no vegetables, fruits, coffee, and even honey. With the loss of these foods, we also lose sources for our protein, vitamins, and fats. Already, around 733 million people go hungry, and this problem will get worse as bee populations continue to decline. Additionally, 75% of flowering plants are sustained by bees, some of which have medicinal properties. One of the current solutions to eliminating Varroa destructor mites is thermotherapy, which involves heating the hive to 40 to 47 degrees Celsius for about 2.5 hours. While risky due to the narrow margin between harming mites and bees, studies show it can almost completely kill mites in the brood without significantly affecting the bees. I aim to incorporate this solution into my proposed solution. Another common solution is the Mycocide amatraz, but Varroa mites have developed resistance, making it increasingly ineffective and in need of replacement. One of the two prototypes I'm developing is Bee Happy, an app that helps beekeepers monitor temperature and humidity in their hives and sends alerts if conditions become unsafe. This flowchart was used to help me create an app, and the circuit design was a blueprint to create Be Happy. The data is collected and sent to a phone, where it's displayed on simple visual graphs. I also added a distance sensor to detect nearby movement around the hive. On the other hand, Beetion is a camera that uses artificial intelligence to detect bees, their predators, and most importantly, Varroa destructors, so that beekeepers can be known of the parasite's presence earlier on. This flowchart is a model of how I trained the AI detection model and the process of streaming live footage to a phone, as well as boxing and labeling different animals. I tested this prototype on a beehive without an infestation to check how well Beetion would work with detecting bees. For Beetion, the overall accuracy of the detection came around to be 94%. The precision recall curve indicates higher recall and precision, as there is more space under the curve. The precision confidence curve illustrates that the accuracy of correctly labeling the animal increases in correlation with confidence, which is how confident the AI is that they have correctly labeled the animal. This project also had a high mean average precision, which represents a low false positive and false negative rate, and this correlates to having high precision and recall as well. On the other hand, Be Happy has an accuracy of over 98% in detecting the climate of the beehive. Additionally, both prototypes are not only portable and easy to install, they are both accessible through a Bluetooth connection. This allows users to not only monitor their beehive in person, but rather be able to check on it via a cell phone. These results prove that Beetion and Be Happy are effective tools for monitoring and managing Varroa destructor mites in beehives. In conclusion, both of my prototypes are reliable ways to detect and treat Varroa mites in a beehive. Beetion uses artificial intelligence, while Be Happy is an app to support the use of thermotherapy to get rid of the mites. Bees play a significant role in our agriculture and provide nutrition to people, combating malnutrition, vitamin deficiencies, child stunting, and weakened immune systems. The lack of bees directly connects with insufficient pollination, which in turn causes people to die of cancer, stroke, coronary heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. The lack of healthy food causes around 427,000 unnecessary deaths each year. Across the globe, millions are losing healthy years of life because bees and other pollinators are disappearing. Additionally, products that bees make themselves can be used for medicinal purposes. Beeswax, for example, has been used as bone wax in surgery to prevent bleeding from bone surfaces and patch holes in the skull. Melatonin is the main component of bee venom, making around 50% of it. This component of bee venom has been reported to successfully prevent the spread of several human cancer cells, including breast cancer, by stimulating the lymph nodes. Without bees, we risk losing access to this promising natural compound and a potential breakthrough in cancer treatment. The fall of bees is a warning for humanity, as their survival is tied to our own. Without actions through innovations like Be Happy and Beetion, the crisis will only get worse, threatening our food, our health, and our future. The uses of AI and technologies can revolutionize the way we protect bee populations. Here are the references that I used throughout my research. I would like to sincerely thank my teachers and mentors for their invaluable support and encouragement throughout my research process. I also want to acknowledge Johns Hopkins University and the Global Health Leaders Conference for giving me the opportunity to share my work on this critical global health issue. Lastly, I would like to thank you, the audience, for listening to my presentation. If you have any questions or would like to connect further, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for your time and attention.